All right, number one, we want to solve this. To solve any of these, as soon as you see an x squared and so many x is a number, you've got to get it set equal to 0. That's the first thing to always do. So I need to move this number over to the other side. Let's switch to little blue. There we go. How am I going to move it over? I'm going to subtract 24. That creates a 0 on the right side of the equal, which is what I want. On the left, I have x squared plus 2x, and then the 24 moved over minus 24. I now have what I want. I have my trinomial set equal to 0. Now, this section we talked about, we're going to solve this by factoring. So I need to break this down into the product of two binomials. And then one of the binomials must be 0 because what times what is 0? Well, one of those pieces is going to have to be a 0, isn't it? So let's factor that x squared plus 2x minus 24. We've done this before. We look at, hey, what multiplies together to give us 24? 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times Mr. 6. The thing is, it is a negative 24. That means one of the pieces is positive, one is negative. So instead of adding these together and getting 25 and 14, we need to find the difference because one of them is going to be negative, so one of them is being subtracted. The difference here is 23. The difference here, when I subtract 10, the difference here, 5. Difference here is 2. Who do we want? We want a difference of 2. And in this case, we want a positive 2. So again, one of these pieces is negative, one is positive. That's the only way to create a negative 24 when you multiply them. To get a plus 2, that means the 6 has to be a plus, and that 4 has to be a negative, because a negative 4 plus a 6 gives you a positive 2. So this ends up being an x minus 4 and x plus 6. Now I set each of these binomials set equal to 0, because one of them has to be a 0. So I do that. Now I add my 4. X is 4 is one possibility. Subtract 6, subtract 6. 6 is our other possibility. And again, what we have here is a parabola, and we're finding the spots where it crosses the x-axis. One of them is here at when x is 6, and the other one is here at, silly me, negative 6. So that was 4 and negative 6. Glad I said that. Cecil couldn't subtract very well. 0 minus 6 is negative 6. We may have written it, but we didn't think it through. So positive 4 is one solution, negative 6 is the other. And if you plug them both in, you're going to see they both work. And basically, as I said, that's just saying the parabola is crossing at negative 6 on the x-axis, and that parabola crosses the x-axis at 4. That's what we have, problem number 1.